Welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Passion, the new rebranded SibP55 podcast. I have an intro for my guest, so I'm going to read this here. Today's guest is a Canadian boxing superstar from Niagara Falls, Ontario, who makes waves in the boxing world with an undefeated record of 18-0, known for his explosive power and precision. He claimed Knockout of the Year honors with a knockout so insane, he basically stole the title from the man who gave him the stage, the one and only Jake Paul. And as if that wasn't enough, he went to shine under the lights of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on Netflix, streamed over 108 million people worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the knockout artist himself, Lucas Bahdi.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Good. I want to jump right into this, talk about your early career, what got you into boxing. Did you always like the sport? Did something spark? What changed you? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I started about 13, 14 years old, and I just got into it just because I simply liked to fight, and I was playing other sports at the time, but I always had like an aggression, so I wanted to get into some kind of martial art, and it just happened to be boxing.
Did you ever think it'd be like UFC or MMA or just straight boxing?
I tried a little bit of other things like jiu-jitsu and karate, and I just didn't appeal to me, right? It was I wanted to use my hands.
Protect yourself at all costs and just use the hands. Yeah. Let's talk about what just like a basic training camp looks like for you when you first started.
When I first started, I mean, look, I'm always in the gym, so my training camps aren't like some kind of special thing. I'm always in shape. It's more just kind of fine tuning and getting the proper sparring, getting prepared for the guy that I'm fighting, right? Like now it's a little different because I get time to prepare for one guy.
Makes sense.
As an amateur, you don't really know who you're fighting, and you just prepared to be in the best shape possible.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different when you're looking at amateurs and pros, but like for me, I revolve everything around sparring. Depending on who I'm fighting and kind of style I have in front of me.
Can you tell me about when you were preparing for your amateur fights? How much time did you have? How much notice did you have? Was it sometime? Was it like a couple weeks, things like that? And then what was like your mindset going into fight week?
Yeah, amateurs are a little different. Like I would take fights on a day notice, right? And that's just the way it is, right? You're always in the gym, you're always sparring, always training, and a fight drops out and they ask for a lightweight, and you take the spot. But as far as like the bigger tournaments, you kind of like when they are, and you prepare for them. So it's a little bit different.
I kind of want to move a little bit into when you kind of hit the stage for the first time.
Yeah.
First of all, how'd you get even on this card with like Jake Paul and things like that?
You know what? It was kind of a fluke. I fought maybe like 2 months before this fight, and it was right after the fight. I wasn't actually in the gym, and I was just doing my thing. It was summer, and I got an email, and the email was talking about an opportunity to be on the undercard of Jake Paul Mike Perry. And I'm like, wow, is this real?
Yeah.
And then I ended up calling the matchmaker, and I called my team right away, and I said, look, we got an opportunity in 3 weeks. And
in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks notice. I mean, it was just over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And within I think 48 hours, the fight was made, signed, and I was fighting one of the best prospects in boxing.
Yeah, you were. It's crazy that his birthday is today and your birthday was yesterday. So ever since this fight, he always just wants to kind of one-up you, but it didn't work out in this fight. We're going to take a look at it, but I do want to now let's take a look at it first, and then we'll talk about it after.
Good right from Bahdi, and another one.
He was losing every minute of that fight.
So I want to touch on what they just said. They said you were losing every minute of that fight. Did you think that too?
Yeah.
Like, what
yeah.
was going through your mind? What did you think the scorecards would be before that knockout happened?
Well, I didn't think there was gonna be scorecards. I didn't plan on beating this guy in decision.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take the fight because I thought I was gonna win on points.
Yeah, you
But
thought
I
you
took
knew
the
you
fight.
were.
I took the fight because I knew I was gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
And I knew that early on this kid is phenomenal, and I kind of just had to weather the storm, kind of take him into deep waters,
Yeah.
and finish him because I know he gets hit. He gets hit, and
Yeah.
when I hit people, man, like you just seen, look what happens, right?
Yeah.
And I knew that it was gonna happen second half of the fight, and it's exactly what happened.
Yeah, really, right into that fourth round. You said you had 3 weeks before this fight. So what did training look like that? Because you were going quicker. You had to kind of rush and get in. You said you weren't in the gym at the time. Was it like just go, 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 or was it like trying to make a plan and then space it out?
I was obviously trying to get, some kind of sparring that was similar to him, but it was really nothing. I mean, like this, this, like, it's different levels, right? Like, I don't really have any local guys like to spar, but
Makes
I
sense.
tried to I was just trying to get kind of taller guys with fast hands.
Yeah.
Just to get that timing, right?
So what was going through your mind at this moment? Do you remember?
Oh man, like it was surreal. It was crazy. Like, it's hard to explain and put it into words, but when I ended his night like that, it was crazy. And it was crazy that, like, no one in the arena thought I was gonna pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not one single soul watching on TV or in that arena. And I just stuck to my gun, stuck to my plan, and it worked out for me in the end.
Yeah, it's definitely just lights out. That was it for him.
Yeah.
What was after? Did you guys have an interaction? Did he just leave? What was after the fight?
He was down for quite a
It
long time.
seemed like that, yeah.
Yeah, he was down for quite a long time, and it was actually, came to that point where it was kind of scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he got up, I said a couple words to him, and he acknowledged it, and that was it.
Okay, so you just got this crazy knockout on your belt. You go home. What does life look like for you?
I was in a tough position for quite a long time, up until I got that opportunity. And what I mean by that is I never really had a promoter, especially a big promoter, right? And that was always the goal, was to sign a deal with a big promoter,
Mm-hmm.
get on the big stage, because that's really the only way to make a living in the sport, is you got to be on the big stage. And I was looking for an opportunity for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when this one came up, I knew that
Mm-hmm.
it was someone calling for me, right? So I had to take the opportunity. And yeah, after that, the opportunities were coming in left, right, and center. I had all the major promoters calling me, looking to make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that MVP was, in my heart, it was the best best thing for me. So I was talking to everybody, but I was always leaning towards MVP.
Makes sense.
And we were able to make a deal that worked great for both of us, and here we are now.
Well, congrats on that. And I think, it seems like what you were saying, you chose the right one. It's like the generations, it's the new boxers, it's everyone that's coming up. That's what MVP is about, and spotlighting new generation of boxers and things. What about your personal life? I know you just touched on like finding a manager after this, but what does your personal life look like when you're not training, when you're not in fight camp? What does that look like?
I'm always in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I'm even like in between fights, I'm always looking to travel to to get sparring. I mean, I guess you could call that my vacation.
True.
Going down south.
When you ever see those things where you get to the airport and they go, "Are you going away for business or for pleasure?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, both. Like you can say pleasure, but you're also like going for business as well. It's like one of the same things. So
Exactly.
Even though you're going away to relax, you're still going away to work. That's your thing.
Yeah.
So what happened next? How did you signed? You got called up to what seems like the biggest fight in history. What was that like? when you're going to be on the card with Jake Paul again and Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. Obviously the numbers were insane, the amount of viewership and you know, being on the same card as one of the greats, you know, Iron Mike Tyson, which is insane, you know, especially, you know, he's been retired for, you know, how long, and for him to come back and me be on the same card as him, it was crazy, because you had all the old timer boxing fans tuning in, and they get to see the talent coming up as well. So it was amazing the amount of eyeballs that were on that event.
I was just going to touch on that it brought so many generations. I sat in my living room with my parents, my siblings, my grandparents, and myself all watching that fight. And I looked around, and my parents and my brother, sometimes they watch like Jake Paul's fight because they want to see how it goes, because I'm super into it. But when it came to Mike Tyson, my grandparents were in, everyone was in, and they were like, wow, I was just looking around like, this is great. I can watch something I like with my entire family. But yeah, it brought so many generations and so many people. It broke dozens of world records, and biggest amount of people that were there, streaming on Netflix, especially the first event. Yeah, it was outstanding. Like, I was really surprised to see those numbers when they released them after.
Yeah, it was insane.
Tell me about your fight preparing for this one.
Well, I actually had a last minute replacement. I was scheduled to fight Corey Marksman, who's a slick boxer mover, and as a couple weeks out, he got injured, and we were scrambling for an opponent, and we found this guy from Italy, undefeated fighter, another really, really good fighter. He was a amateur national champion out of Italy, and he was actually the opposite style of what I prepared for.
Really?
Yeah, so I kind of, you know, I didn't have much time to prepare for him, but you know, it is what it is. I'm in shape to fight, and I'll adapt to any style.
So I want to ask you two questions. One, how did you think the fight went? But before that, did you think for a second that you weren't gonna fight at all when the other guy had to pull out?
I was pretty confident that they were gonna find me somebody. Like these, you know, they're real professionals, and I knew that. No, like, it's a big opportunity to pass up when, you know, when you're on the other call, you're on the other side getting the call for the fight. You know, like, it's like you're on the Mike Tyson card. No matter how big the risk is, it's massive exposure and a big opportunity, right?
And then, how did you think the fight went?
The fight was good. Yeah, of course, there's things I would have done differently when I look back at it. But you know what? Overall, I took no damage. I boxed very well. I showed another attribute to my game. You know, I could box, I could move, and I thought my defense was tight. It was good. I never really got hit with any big shots.
I agree.
And I thought I won very clear.
Yeah. Did you think, or you were hoping for a knockout? Were you upset that you didn't get the knockout?
Absolutely. I mean, look, I'm in the hurt business. This is what I do, right? Yeah. I'm a power puncher, and I'm known to knock people out, right? So I want to give the fans what they want to see. And I was a little disappointed I didn't get the knockout, but you know, at the end of the day, the 10 rounds of experience is it's really, really good to get that in once in a while.
Yeah. I want to touch on that final press conference. What is it like on that stage? All those people, what the atmosphere is like. Also the tension between all the fighters. Like, you're all sitting in those panels, and then you have some of the tension, like Paul made all the bets with everyone, and what was that like?
That was a lot of fun, actually. You know, Jake made it entertaining. You know, he does what he does. He's one of the best entertainers out there, and when people were voting against him, and then he told them to put their money where their mouth was, right? It was
no
comical.
One did.
Yeah, no one did.
Everyone knew what the answer was, but it was, you could kind of see where it was split. There was Paul's side, and then there was Tyson's side. So everyone was sticking with who they wanted to, and then no one wanted to bet, and everyone they got proven wrong in the end of the day.
Exactly.
I want to touch on that fight a little bit. What did you think about it? About Paul and Tyson's fight?
I knew Jake was going to control the distance, and you know, right when the bell rang, Tyson went at him right away.
Oh, yeah.
And he swung a couple shots, and Jake was trying to find his distance right away, but it's hard when you got a bull coming at you. So I remember the first 30 seconds, I was like, oh man, this is going to be interesting. Like Tyson's coming at him. Yeah. But he can only do that for so long before he gasses out. I mean, look, Mike Tyson in his prime, he was a 4-round fighter.
Yeah. You're right.
After 4 rounds, it's like, most likely you're going to go the distance.
Yeah.
But it's the first, 4 rounds where you really got to be careful with a guy like that.
Yeah. But it was by that 4th round when he went back to his corner and that meme of him crying and like that. You could tell his game was over by that 4th round. But what did you think, just quickly, about the opinions between why is Paul fighting someone who is Mike Tyson in his retirement and that age and things like that?
Jake's an entertainer, and he's actually a very good boxer as well. So he's got to kind of play the role where he's got to fight somebody with a massive name to get the views, but also someone that's gonna test them, right? Someone like Mike Tyson, someone like an Anderson Silva, like massive names that bring huge viewership to these platforms, and at the same time he's fighting very, very good fighters, and he's only what, 11, 12 fights in.
Yeah, exactly.
Most guys are fighting really low level fighters. Yeah, nobodies. Yeah. And he's actually fighting some good talent out there.
Can you just tell me what your first interaction was with Jake? I saw the video with Logan. What was that all like?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. You see these guys on TV, on YouTube for so many years, and to actually meet them in person, it's pretty cool. But yeah, they're really, really good guys. Yeah, down to earth guys. Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. I want to move on, talk to you about the future of boxing as a sport and the future of your boxing. You can start with whatever one you want.
I mean, the future of boxing, it's still such a massive sport all around the world. They have all these fights going on in Saudi Arabia that the Saudis are putting on. These massive major events, and then you got the ones that are here as well that are massive, and there's just so much money in the sport that it's gonna keep growing, and I don't think it's going anywhere. But yeah, as far as my career, look, I'm in line to fight for a world title in the next year. Really? I'm top 8 right now in the WBA. I'm number 9 in the IBF, and it's gonna keep going up from there. I'm gonna keep winning, and I gotta put them with their backs against the wall, put them in a corner, and give them no chance to say no. They could only duck, dodge, and step away from these fights for so long. But I'm after the big guys. I'm after all the champions. And right now I'm a high risk for these guys, and they know that.
Yeah, 100%. Do you have anything lined up? I know you probably can't say, but is there something lined up yet or no?
Yeah. I'll be fighting in the next couple months.
Next couple months. Yeah. This has been an amazing conversation, and we're kind of gonna wrap things up. But I want to just fire off 3 quick questions for you. Just answer them. You can go into detail. You can give them short answers, whatever you want. Just want to know who your favorite boxer of all time is.
Favorite of all time? That's a hard question. I got so many favorites, but if I were to pick one, just because I was watching him steady as I was coming up, is Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. Would you ever see? Do you think Paul and Floyd Mayweather will ever happen or no?
I don't doubt it, but I don't think it will. But you never know.
I think Floyd's kind of scared for that. But your favorite go-to pump-up song? What would that be? In the gym, fight song, walkout song?
I like 50 Cent. So 50 any high tempo 50 Cent music.
Yeah, and then your favorite cheat meal after a fight?
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that place in St. Catharines?
Industria.
Yeah. That's it. Last thing I want to touch on, you just posted the other day, when you recreated Paul's Disney intro for his happy birthday. What was that like?
Yeah, that was just something funny to do. Everyone from the MVP kind of wished him a happy birthday, and I thought I'd get creative with it.
Yeah, recreate his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on our first episode of my new podcast. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention? Well, where can people find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram at Prince Bahdi, Lucas Bahdi. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, so everything's linked in the description, all of his stuff, and we hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. We'll be back with more very, very soon. Lucas, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.